Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so we're gonna start this pre-match press conference. It's a match between Team Kenya and Team Morocco. So we are really honored to have with us the head coach of Morocco national team, Mr. TotalEnergies, and the player, Mr. Oussama Lamliwi. So as usual, don't forget to put your cell phone in silent mode. And also one question per journalist. Don't forget also to introduce yourself before asking your question. So I'm going to ask the first question to the coach and the player before giving the floor to the journalist. Coach, je vais vous poser la question en français. Quel est le ressenti après, bien entendu, ce très beau premier match que vous avez produit et avant d'affronter les pays hôtes?
Tout d'abord, bonjour tout le monde. Le ressenti, bien évidemment, après une victoire, c'est toujours d'abord une fierté, puisqu'on représente le drapeau marocain. Et deuxièmement, une joie, mais aussi une motivation de plus pour entamer le deuxième match avec plus de confiance, plus de détermination et avec une volonté encore plus pour aller chercher les deuxièmes 3 points. Le match n'était pas facile et le match prochain va être encore plus difficile.
So guys, translation is available. So en français, en arabe, العربية. ما هم شعوركم قبل مواجهة الكينيا غد إن شاء الله؟
السلام عليكم جميعا. مقابلة الغد غتكون صعبة حيث غادي نلعبوا ضد البلد المنظم اللي غيكون مساند بالجمهور ديالو. حنا حضرنا بما فيه الكفاية، غنحاولوا نتبعوا التعليمات ديال المدرب لتحقيق نتيجة إيجابية إن شاء الله.
First question here. The mic, please.
Coach, my name is Hezbon Nyamari from Sport FM. You've had a week of training. Does that reduce your momentum towards the game, considering Harambee Stars just played on Thursday, where they had a 1-1 draw against Angola? And second, what do you make of the draw against Angola and moving forward towards the game tomorrow? What do you expect from the Harambee Stars team? Thank you.
Can you repeat, please, because here can you repeat the question?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Because it's not working.
I was asking, you've had a week of training and rest for your players, and considering Harambee Stars have had a turnaround of 2 days, does that give you an advantage over them? And second, what do you make of the 1-1 draw against Angola? Does it show resilience for the Harambee Stars team, and what do you expect from them tomorrow?
Je pense que le fait de ne pas jouer pendant une semaine, ça peut être positif mais aussi négatif, parce que d'un côté c'est vrai, on profite de plusieurs journées de plus par rapport à l'adversaire, mais d'un autre côté, on va jouer contre un adversaire qui est compétitif. S'il sait bien gérer, si elle a su bien gérer ces moments de récupération entre les séances, entre les matchs, il est avantagé parce qu'il a un match de plus, il est plus compétitif. Alors le fait de ne pas jouer, il est sur 2 tranches, positif et négatif. Mais l'essentiel, c'est que le jour J, on doit être prêt. Demain, on doit être prêt sur tous les plans pour confronter une équipe qui est supportée avec le public. Une équipe très très motivée, une équipe très solidaire et qui a montré dans les 2 derniers matchs qu'ils n'étaient pas faciles pour eux. C'était des matchs très très solides, très très difficiles, mais ils ont su montrer que ce sont une équipe très très bonne. Il ne faut pas oublier qu'ils ont 4 points sur 2 matchs. Alors on est conscient de tout ça, on est conscient que le match de demain va être très très difficile et on a besoin de bien se focaliser et de bien travailler sur le terrain pendant les 90 minutes si on veut remporter les 3 points.
السلام عليكم كوتش.
السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
كوتش عبد المولى السباعي نشوف تيفي. كوتش اليوم كنعيشوا هذا الاسبوع يعني الذكرى الاولى ديال ما حققتموه الانجاز ديال اولمبياد فرنسا يعني في هذا الاسبوع هذا اكيد انجاز تاريخي. اليوم منافسه اخرى اليوم يعني تختلف يعني كل الظروف. كيفاش كتشوفوا باقي ما تبقى من هذه المنافسه هذه؟ واش هذا الشيء ان شاء الله يعطيكم حافز؟ ثم كذلك التمديد ديال الانطلاق ديال البطوله كوتش، واش هذا غادي يلعب يعني على العام الثاني ديال اللاعبين فباقي عندهم متسع ان شاء الله من الوقت على انطلاق البطوله؟ شكرا كوتش.
فيمكن نبدا بالسؤال الثاني ديالك، هو فيما يتعلق بالتمديد ديال البطوله فهذا ما عندوش علاقه بينا. حنا كنحاولوا جوستومون ما امكن بالنسبه للاعبين ان نخليوهم في لا كومبيتيسيون ديال هنا، وانها يعني بكل صراحه مبعدين على اي حاجه خارجه باش يبقى لك لا كونسونطراسيون توتال على لوبجيكتيف ديالنا، الحضور ديالنا لهنا، لا كومبيتيسيون ديال هنا. هذا من ناحيه. بالنسبه للسؤال ديال بوندون لي جيو والان، كنظن بان جوج ديال المنافسات يعني مختلفين تماما بمعايير اخرى وبشكل اخر وبكره طريقه اللعب كذلك بطريقه اخرى، لا من الناحيه الدفاعيه لا من الناحيه الهجوميه. الخصوم كذلك مختلفين، لكن اكيد انه كنطمحوا بكل صراحه باش اننا نفرحوا الشعب المغربي، كنطمحوا باش اننا ندوزو لو بريمي تور اللي كنأكد عليها رغم الانتصار الاول. غادي نديروا كل شيء باش نديروا الانتصار الثاني ان شاء الله غدا ان شاء الله الرحمن الرحيم. مشكورين اللاعبين على المجهودات الكبيره اللي تيقوموا بها، على الروح اللي غاديه وكتكبر الحمد لله وسط المجموعه ديالنا رغم الظرف القصير اللي عايشين بعضياتنا. ف مشكورين كثير 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 على الطريقه ديال التعامل ديالهم وعلى الاحترافيه ديالهم على لا ماتوريتي ديالهم. مي اللي اكيد هو اننا كما قلت لك الدور الاول هو لوبجيكتيف نيميرو 1 ديالنا، ومن بعد نمشيو نقلبوا على الكارت فينال. ولكن كنعرفوا بان الدور الاول باش ندوزو منه كيدوز بمراحل، المراحل هي 4 ديال المحطات. دزنا المحطه الاولى، مازال تابعنا محطه ثانيه اللي هي غدا ان شاء الله، ومن بعد مازالنا 2 ديال المحطات اخرين مع بزاف ديال المسؤوليه افيك بوكو دو ريسبونسابيلتي. غادي ندافعوا على الرايه الوطنيه وغادي نحاولوا نفوزوا بالمقابلات ان شاء الله.
ميكرو.
السلام عليكم كوتش. معكم عيسى القمحي صحفي بجريدة الصباح. أولا كنهنيكم على الانطلاقة الموفقة والجيدة للمباراة الأولى. كما هو معلوم أنه نيروبي تقع على واحد 1700 متر عن سطح البحر، بمعنى أن كاين واحد العائق ديال الارتفاع. ومني كنقولوا الارتفاع كنقولوا نقص في الأكسجين. ما بانش على اللاعبين في المباراة الأولى لأنهم كانوا أكثر إصرار وتحدي ورغبة في الفوز، ولكن أكيد أنه كانوا عانوا من هذا الارتفاع خصوصا في الدقائق الأخيرة. سؤالي، واش كاين شي تدريب خاصة باش أنه يكونوا اللعبة في أوج العطاء ديالهم غدا إن شاء الله أمام كينيا، أو لا المسألة متعلقة يعني بالتأقلم؟ هنا ملي كنقولوا التأقلم كنحتاجوا واحد 20 يوم على الأقل باش نتأقلموا مع الأجواء ديال الارتفاع. بمعنى أوضح أن المنتخب الوطني ربما ما غيكون في قمة الجاهزية ديالو 100% إلا في المباراة الثالثة، لأن المنتخب غادي أكمل 20 يوم على المقام ديالو في نيروبي. شكرا.
فشكرا على السؤال ديالكم. كنظن على ان ذكرتوا من خلال السؤال ديالكم جوج ديال النقاط مهمين، التحدي والعزيمه. كنظن بان يعني حنا الظروف اللي جينا بها فكانت كان بالنسبه لنا واحد الرساله ولا واحد الاتفاق في المجموعه بانه هو تحدي، وخدينا الامور من هذا المنحى. هذا تحدي اننا نتخطاو الصعاب، نتخطاو اي شيء يمكن انه يكون ما كانش في صالحنا قبل المجيء ديالنا لهنا. فهذا عامل الحمد لله مره اخرى مشكورين عليه اللاعبين على لا مونطاليتي اللي بينوا عليها، الشخصيه اللي بينوا عليها. ثانيا العزيمه بان عندنا واحد الرغبه كبيره، عندنا واحد العزيمه كبيره باش اننا نشرفوا كره القدم الوطنيه، وهذا ما فيه الشك. وهذا اللي دار العامل ديال الفارق في المقابله اللي فاتت، و ايزون كومبونسي الدراري بالشخصيه ديالهم، بلا بيرسوناليتي ديالهم، بلا فولونتي ديالهم، وكذلك بالروح ديال التمثيل. الرايه الوطنيه احسن تمثيل والكره المغربيه احسن تمثيل. بالنسبه للعامل ديال الارتفاع كنظن على انه يعني كانت خاص لادابتاسيون، ومشكوره الجامعه الوطنيه المغربيه من هذا الباب، لانه وفرت لنا الامكانيه باش نجيو اسبوع من قبل باش تكون الامور تدوز بسلاسه، او يعني التاثير يكون اقل ما يمكن يكون. كذلك يعني عملنا في الايام الاولى من خلال التدريب مع السي حسن اللوداري المعيد البدني على اون تكنيك دو ريسبيراسيون اللي يمكن لها تعاون اللاعبين خصوصا في الثلاث اربعه ايام الاولى، واللي كذلك خداوها اللاعبين وكيمشيو بها كل تدريب وفي كل مقابله، لان كيمكن لها تعاون. تعرفوا في هذه الظروف هذه يمكن لا خديتي غير 5% من كل شيء، او اللي تبان قليله، او 300 من كل شيء، يعني راه تعطيك واحد 15% يمكن لها تعاونك بزاف في ظروف من هذا الحجم. وكل ما دازت الايام وكل ما دازت المقابلات فهي اكيد في صالحنا من اجل التحسن ومن اجل التاقلم.
Cool. Yeah, but please guys don't forget the player. If you can ask a question for the player.
Jason Saguinia from Radio France. To the player. Okay. Jason Saguinia from Radio France. To the player. What's the mood in the camp, and how have you prepared as a player personally heading to this game? Because the second game, Kenya have played already 2 games. It's your second game. How have you prepared as players for that game, and what do you look up for at these tournaments, Chan, this year? Maybe the coach, I just want to understand. Okay.
كما قلت من قبل، احنا كنحضروا في اجواء التحضيرات كتدوز في اجواء ايجابيه. الكل متحمس، عارفين المقابله غتكون صعيبه. احنا هنايا كنحملوا القميص الوطني، كل شيء غادي يعطي الماكسيموم اللي في جهده باش نفرحوا الشعب المغربي ان شاء الله.
Mandena, Morocco have had players like Ayoub and Sofiane Hakimi, who are very instrumental in Morocco's previous victories.
فبالفعل اي مسابقه بحال المسابقه كتكون هي حافز. احنا كنخدموا كمجموعه، وان شاء الله الهدف ديالنا هو اللقب ان شاء الله، اكثر ما هو الفردي.
السلام عليكم سي طارق. السلام عليكم سي اسامه عز العرب النايبه موقع البطوله. سي طارق بغيت نسولك على يعني كان الحديث قبل قليل يعني السيد بين مكارتي مدرب المنتخب الكيني، كذلك الزملاء الصحفيين الكينيين تكلموا على الفارق الزمني ما بين المباراه الاولى للمنتخب والمباراه الثانيه. ما كرهتش توضح هذه المساله واش غتلعب يعني بشكل سلبي ولا ايجابي على المنتخب المغربي. والنقطه الثانيه هو واش لقيتي ال 11 تيب؟ كان الحديث كثير على التشكيل، يعني واش لقيتي ال 11 تيب ولا السي طارق غادي يتعامل مع كل مباراه يعني واش غنفرضوا اسلوبنا ولا غادي نتعاملوا مع كل خصم بوحده؟ شكرا.
والله ما عندي 11 تيب بالله العظيم، يعني نكون معك صريح يعني بكل صراحه. يعني نتوما يمكن اللي كيعرفوني راه كيعرفوا يعني لابروش ديالي في التعامل داخل الفروق او حتى في المنتخب مؤخرا. فاش كنبدا مع اللاعبين هما ابناء ديالنا او اخوان ديالنا اصغر منا، فاول شيء يعني كنعطيهم اكثر ما يمكن من الحب ومن الاحترام، وبدون مجامله او بدون يعني رمي الورود. هذه طريقتي في التعامل. يعني عندي واحد التجربه متواضعه كلاعب كره قدم كنكررها مره واحده اخرى متواضعه، جعلتني انني تكون عندي واحد لابروش يعني نابعه من القلب في التعامل ديالي مع اللاعبين. احترام لا غبار عليه، وحب للمصلحه ديالو واللي هي كتمشي في المصلحه العامه. علاش حنا كاع مجموعين هنا من ناحيه احترافيه محضه. فمع عمرها كانت عندي دي تيتولار لاعبين كاينين كلهم، لا كاين هنا فلانه لاعب يستحق يكون هنا ولانه لاعب غادي نعولوا عليه ومعول عليه. كل واحد عنده خاصيات وكل واحد عنده اشياء ايجابيه واشياء اقل. فاحنا من خلال هاد التوليفه، من خلال هاد اللاعبين اللي متوفرين واللي مهمين كثار، ما كاينش واحد احسن من الاخر، ما كاينش واحد في تيتولير واحد رومبلاسون. حنا جينا هنا بالمجموعه كلها، المجموعه كلها غادي تادي في اللي ما فيه الصالح للمجموعه واللي ما فيه الصالح لكره القدم الوطنيه. فهذا ما فيه شك. هذه من ناحيه. بالنسبه للاسبوع كنظن بانني سبق ليا وذكرت، فهو سلاح ذو حدين. ان بطبيعه الحال عندنا لافونتاج عليهم اننا لعبنا جوج المقابلات، ولكن من واحد الناحيه لا هما عرفوا كيفاش يتعاملوا مع هاد الثلاث المقابله الاضافيه، فهاد يمكن يكونوا عندهم واحد الجاهزيه علينا في لي جامب ديالهم، في ميم سور لو بلان بسيكولوجيك عندهم ان ماتش دو بلوس يمكن يكونوا افضل. فهو سلاح ذو حدين اللي غادي يبينوا هو كيفاش هما تعاملوا وكيفاش حنا تعاملنا، اللي غادي يبينوا هو غدا ان شاء الله في 90 دقيقه.
Right. My name is Dennis. My question goes to Osama. So you've had a good year, winning the Botola and also the Confederations Cup, and now you're in the CHAN team. There is the possibility, especially knowing that the AFCON is coming up next, that if you have a good CHAN tournament, you could possibly break into the main Morocco team itself. How does the stakes compare, especially playing in this tournament, knowing that there is the possibility that with a good performance in the CHAN, you could actually break into the main team after a good club performance this year?
فبالفعل هذه البطولة هي تحت الأنظار جميع متتبعين كرة القدم، فاحنا كنخدموا صباح وعشية باش نظهروا بمستوى أحسن، ولما لا اللعب في المنتخب الوطني الأول إن شاء الله.
Bonjour à tous, Soumaïma Rafaeli du 360. Ma question est pour le sélectionneur national. On a eu le coach Benny McCarthy en conférence il y a quelques minutes et il a évoqué votre relation tous les deux parce que vous vous êtes côtoyés à Porto. Il en garde des souvenirs et donc il vous a comblé de louanges, notamment il a beaucoup mis en avant votre technique. Qu'est-ce que vous gardez vous en souvenir de votre temps ensemble?
Bah oui, effectivement, Benny, c'est un ami. J'ai eu la chance de le côtoyer et de jouer à ses côtés à Porto. Les souvenirs que je porte, c'est un joueur de qualité, un très bon joueur sur le plan offensif. Il était l'un des meilleurs attaquants de l'Afrique à l'époque. Et il a pu gérer une carrière exceptionnelle en passant par plusieurs clubs européens. Et j'avais de très bonnes relations avec lui. Il y a une semaine ou bien 10 jours, on s'est rencontrés avant une séance et j'étais très content de le revoir. Maintenant, c'est une fierté de le voir sur la tête de l'équipe nationale kenyane. Il est en train de faire un très bon travail. Le fait d'avoir 4 points sur 2 matchs, le fait de jouer l'Angola, de jouer l'RDC sont deux adversaires pas évidents à avoir 4 points avec eux. Et je suis très content pour lui.
Thank you, coach. Thank you, Osama. Thank you all. So it's the end of this press conference. Thank you.
to prepare for this contest, and we have 2 days, so hopefully the momentum can still be with us. And after what the performance that we gave against Angola, maybe that could just be a big motivation factor for us to go out tomorrow, and just go out there and give another incredible performance, and hopefully with a positive result at the end of it.
Thank you, Coach. Aboud, as the players, definitely as the coach said, short time to prepare, but how mentally, physically are you prepared for the game against Morocco?
First of all, I think we are ready. We take each game at a time, and now our focus is this game against Morocco on Sunday. So I think the boys are ready, and we just hope that we'll have a positive result.
Thank you, Aboud. I'll open up the floor to questions, so just raise your hand, your name, media house, and who your question is directed to. We start here.
Coach, my name is Hesbon Nyamari from Sport FM. You've mentioned you have only had a turnaround of 2 days and Morocco had 7 days. Do we expect any changes in the squad?
Today I think we're going to assess the team, because we'll have our first training session after the Angola game, because yesterday was just the exhaustion and fatigue from almost every member in the squad. So we had just a cool-down session where the players did pool and recovery. So today we'll have our first pitch training sessions, and then we'll assess everybody, where everybody is mentally, physically, and how ready they would be for tomorrow, before we decide if we make changes or we stick to the squad that did incredibly well against Angola. But it's a touch and go situation, so sometimes you have to freshen up, because when players have given you so much effort, so much heart over the 2 games, and then maybe we might have to consider changing the squad. But for now, we undecided on if we make changes or we stick to the same squad.
Next question, yes sir.
Thank you. Karuki Eric is my name. I'm with the Silly Voice. Coach, in the past 2 games, we have seen our team struggle in the first few minutes. Any changes, anything you're working to do about that? We are struggling to cope up with the game in the first few minutes.
I think it's a mental thing, I would assume, because obviously from my experience, what I've went through as a player back in the days when I played, the way I prepared, these moments, these situations didn't really bother me that much. But the modern day football is completely different from my generation. So I think when you have a squad who's almost 90%, it's their first time playing in a big tournament, playing at such a big stage against top-class opposition. The occasion can get to players. So sometimes I think you take a little bit more time to adjust, to get used to your environment, where you are at that time. So adjusting and getting yourself into your comfort zone, where you can start to be yourself and play the way everybody knows that you can. So adjustment side. So the first 2 games, you could see that there was a lot of tension in most of the players, because the captain over here and maybe 1 or 2 other players have been in situations where they played in major competitions, but the rest of the team, for them, it's a novelty. It's all new, so I guess the crowd and the atmosphere can get to you sometimes, so you just need time to adjust. And sometimes for us, especially for me as a coach, it is frustrating, because you know how good your team can be, but they take time to get into the rhythm. But by then, the opposition take full advantage of the slow start that you do. And in our case, the last match we found ourselves 1-0 down and a player down because of the slow start. So hopefully tomorrow against Morocco, we don't allow that, because from my point of view, they are probably the strongest team in this group, but also in the competition. So if we allow ourselves to start slow and sluggish and nervous, then you'll pay a hefty price against a team like Morocco. So it's one of the things that I will drill into the players, that tomorrow we shouldn't give ourselves a mountain to climb.
Okay, one question for Abud. We'll let the coach breathe for a second. One question for Abud. Yes, Sagini.
Thank you. Jason Sagini from Radio France. Abud, as a player, so far we've played 2 games at the Chan. It's our debut. It's our debut also as a player, as a local-based player. What's the experience like playing at the Chan at the moment, and what do you think is the importance of this Chan?
First of all, I think it's a good opportunity for all the local-based players. And also, I believe after the tournament, a lot of our local-based players, they will have an opportunity to go and play in high levels. So they know about this. As the coach say, sometimes, we start slow, but the more we play, they get more matured and they have their confidence. So I think for the last 2 games, we did our best, and I hope tomorrow's game we're going to do better. And to qualify for the second round. But again, this tournament, it's for the local players, and they need to, also me, I'm going to include myself, we need to improve so that we can find a better future, meaning playing in bigger teams in the high level. Yeah.
Another question for Abud?
Playing theatrics near our goalpost. Could you take me through what was happening? Were you furious because he was messing with millions? Or what was going on?
So I felt like he was doing some kind of witchcraft or something. That's why it provoked me. That's why I went there. So it's just that, nothing else. Yeah.
Okay. Questions? More questions?
Yep. Coach, I think you've been quite consistent with the kind of tendencies that you've pointed out from teams. From the DR Congo game and then the Angola game, there's a prediction you'd made on how they would look like playing a high line, and you exploited that. Maybe what are the kind of expectations you expect from Morocco in this game, and how you're looking to counter them?
Well, Morocco is a very unpredictable team. I think their league speaks for itself. They've got a very competitive league, one of the best in Africa, so they do have a lot of quality players locally based, and the international team is extremely strong as well. I think for us it's just to be really organized, best prepared as we possibly can, because as good as they can be, once you organize and you stick to instructions and you've got your tactics right, then the best teams in the world sometimes struggles with that, and that's what we're hoping tomorrow, that our organization is really good and solid, so we make it difficult for them, because they're a team that wants to, they come out from the start of the game, they take the game to you, and then they try to get a goal as quick as possible so they can calm down, and then they draw and suck you in, and then they play a very low block, so inviting teams to attack them so they can hit you on the counter. So we know that. So I think if we can obtain them and keep them at bay in the early stages of the game, we'll give ourselves a great fighting chance. But like I said, they are unpredictable, and I know their coach is tactically very astute, because he was a former teammate of mine many years ago. We had a brief spell at Porto, and he was an attacking forward on the wing play, really good, really adventurous. So I think he sets his team up exactly the kind of player he was. So I think they're going to go for it because they know they've got a massive opportunity. But for us, we know we just need to keep our discipline. We need to keep just our defense and midfield line really tight, because opportunities we will get, and if we can be clinical, then yeah, we can also let them change their gameplay, their game style, the way that they don't want to, and we can do that. But yeah, we have to be disciplined and organized and really focus from minute 1 to minute 90 to have a fighting chance against a quality opposition like Morocco.
Question? Victor?
So, Coach, my name is Victor Tieno of Daily Nation. So, if you can recall, in the 1997 AFCON Under-20 final, your team, South Africa, lost to Morocco 1-0. You missed that final because you had been suspended. And the current Morocco's coach was named the tournament's best player. Come in 2006, you again crossed path in Porto. But unfortunately, you left Porto just a few weeks. So, between you and him, have you ever reflected on this rich history between you and how things would have changed had you not been suspended for that match and had you remained at Porto?
Yeah, I think if I wasn't suspended, we would have been champions. Simple, because we were the surprising team at the tournament. I was young, I had the world at my feet, and I think I've proven that throughout the tournament. And unfortunately, the new rule just came into when you celebrate. If you take your shirt off, you get a yellow card for taking your shirt off. And I think I scored the winning goal both in the quarterfinals against Zambia and in the semifinals against Ivory Coast, if my memory don't serve me wrong. When you score winning goal last minute, yeah, your emotions run wild. So I took my shirt off, and so I got 2 yellow cards for celebrating goals. And you miss one game, and unfortunately for me, the game that I missed was the final. So yeah, the coach had to change tactics, which gave Morocco and head coach Tariq the opportunity, me missing the final game, to just have that one over. So that, yeah, and at Porto, like I said, the manager that we got, Arryadia, the Dutch manager, knew him. He played for him at FC20, so he brought him to Porto. But unfortunately, I was in the process of moving to England. So when he joined, we did a pre-season together. So we got to know each other because 2 African players. So, you know, you struck a relationship, you struck on. But then I moved on and he stayed at Porto. So yeah, I think we're good history. And now tomorrow, Chan match between Kenya and Morocco will reunite us again. So hopefully, this time, not a score could be settled because we had a very good relationship. But I think if it's even Steven, a point would be really good for both teams. So I'm hoping for the best. But for us, we go into the match wanting to win, wanting to secure our place in the next round. But we know the task is humongous. But we are confident, we are hopeful, and we believe in our ability, we believe in ourselves, so that we can do something special, not just for the team, but for the whole country. Because just to have seen what's happened in Kenya over the last few weeks due to this CHAN competition has been unbelievable. You know, the country is very united, and people are believing that athletics is not going to be Kenya's best sporting code for years to come. But football is slowly creeping in there and edging ever closer. So the better we do, the more people will embrace football, and football can become also one of the top tier sporting codes of Kenya.
Question? Yep.
Good morning, Coach. I'm Ambunya Bran, a freelance sports journalist. Maybe in terms of injury updates and how is Marvin Nabwire doing, and do you think Marvin Nabwire missing the next match is going to affect your tactics?
Yes, of course. I think Marvin came in to the squad bringing a completely different quality, ability that we didn't have before. So to lose him so early in the match against Angola was a real shame. And you know, now for this all-important game against Morocco, you wanted to have your best players, your important players for the team available. So yes, he leaves a huge gap into our midfield. But like I said, there's other players that's also capable of stepping up to the plate and making a difference and want the opportunity. So we'll have to assess, and we'll have training session this afternoon, and we'll assess the fitness levels of everybody and the fatigueness, and then we'll try and make the best decision. But yeah, I think there's players in the squad well capable of stepping in and taking the role of that Marvin is leaving. And yeah, we'll be as best prepared as we possibly can for a massive challenge tomorrow.
Okay. Dola.
Hello, Coach. My name is Dola Sem from Africa Live Media. Of course, there's the aspect of the physicality that Crispin Erambo brings into midfield late on in the two matches we saw against DRC and Angola, and also the defensive aspect part of Kibwage, Michael. Could you kindly talk about that? And then lastly, maybe, is there fatigue concern with regards to Morocco having played the last match on Sunday? We played on Thursday, had only 2 days to recover. Is that a big concern to you?
Like I said earlier to the question that I had about Marvin being out and then other players being able to step in, and I think, yeah, you mentioned Chris and Michael. The last 2 games, both of them, they came into the game and they brought a completely different element to our squad. Physicality, most important, because they are quite aggressive players and very physical. So against the opposition like Morocco, we're going to need that. We're going to need physicality. So they might not get the opportunity to start, but a part in the game they will feature and they will take a part. So it's just how we prepare and what we think would be the best personnel to start tomorrow. So yeah, and I think psychologically it can go 2 ways. You can have the advantage of having a week to prepare, and you can come out the blocks firing, or it can have an effect that you haven't played for 7 days, so a lot of players are still, have to take time to adjust after having 1 match and then having a break between 7 days. And in our case, we had a game on Sunday and then we played on Thursday, so that might just give the players that confidence, that boost, that if you can have a fast start, better start than what we did, psychologically it can work in your favor or it can backfire. So it's something that we have to carefully think about and prepare well, and hopefully we make the right decisions, we make the good calls, and our team can be as ready as ever come tomorrow game time, that we surprise our opposition.
Okay. Again.
Thank you once again. I was expecting to hear, but while you answer that, of course, one of my fans on my Facebook page, I posted in the morning, I'm coming from the press conference, and he answered by saying Morocco must fall tomorrow. So I don't know how you respond to this fan, and I think also the captain can answer that.
Update on Masoud. Progress very good. When I spoke to the doctor and the lead physio, They said that he's feeling great and he's feeling ready. So, like I said, we have a training session today, this afternoon, and we'll assess, and we'll also find out from the player how he feels physically, if he's ready to be thrown in there and play a part for the team, or if he still thinks, he needs more time. But I think overall he's ready for selection, so it's just down to us if we decide to put him in or to have him wait. So it's a decision that myself and the technical team will do on the instructions of the doc and the physio. So that, and Morocco must fall. Tough statement, but like I said, I think we don't play into what people from outside say. We know we're the ones that step on that field, so we know how difficult things are. So yeah, like I said, they are very, very, very good team, and they've got every possibility to go on and win this tournament. So we know the strengths of their squad and where they at as a national team compared to us. But in life, just because someone has better organization and better infrastructure or more organized federation doesn't mean nothing, because what you have off the pitch, you still have to go on that pitch and prove it against 11. So for me, it's about who has the biggest heart, who has the most determination, who has the most willing power to want to win the match. That's the one that will come victorious. So in terms of names and who they are superior. But come tomorrow, 3 p.m., kickoff time, 11 players against 11 players, that's where you show who's worthy of winning. So for us, we don't care what people say or that. For us, it's about turning up tomorrow and standing our ground and being tall and knowing what we have to do, how hard we have to fight, how hard we must run, how more we have to compete. And that's the team. If we show that, we have every chance of winning the game as much as them. So that's my response in terms of what the outside world thinks. But at the end of the day, it's 11 players against 11 players on that field. The best will prevail. The ones who wants it the most, that's the ones that will come out victorious.
Would probably good.
I think the coach has said it all. The fans will say what they want to say. They're here to support us, to cheer for us, and also to motivate us. So I think it's an encouragement, and we're going to take it positively because we want to win. So yeah, if they say Morocco has to fall, then we should do our best because we want to win all the games. So any team we play, we want to win. So I think that's what the fan he was trying to say. So yeah, again, we came to this tournament because we also believe we can win this tournament. So yeah, so I think we're gonna play for each and every game, and we're gonna go for a win. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, everyone, for your time. Unfortunately, time isn't on our side. We'll just take a photo with the coach and the player, then we wait for the next press conference. Thank you.